Thank you very much for taking out time and joining us for the first webinar of the webinar series, Innovation in Aviation. I, Abdullah Hussain, with my fellow host Shamir Khan, welcome you all on behalf of NUST Airworks. We are a team skilled and experienced in making unmanned aircraft vehicles, competing in IMEC US Challenge for past 4 years and is also competing this year, looking forward in representing Pakistan.
I'll start off by acknowledging the fact that how Pakistan is lacking behind in the use of advanced technology in its profitable sectors. And I want to highlight the technological gap present here in Pakistan. This gap was not only acknowledged by our government, but this gap was also acknowledged by VTOL Dynamics. And here we have the founder of VTOL Dynamics, Mr. Naved. Mr. Naved Ali started his career as a mine surveyor in Australia and made his mark as an advisor to the UAE Ministry of Infrastructure Development. And in 2019, he launched VTOL Dynamics as a global geospatial solution provider. Here we have Mr. Naved Ali, the Chief Executive Officer and the founder of VTOL Dynamics.
Now to start off, Mr. Naveed, it is a pleasure to have you here. We are glad that you took out the time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Naveed, why don't you walk us through what VTOL Dynamics is and what work does it do?
Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll just share the screen because I have a small presentation that we can go through at the same time. And look, if anybody has any questions throughout, they can just stop me and we can talk about them as we go. I'm just sharing the screen.
Yes.
Okay, so can everyone see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can actually.
All right, wonderful. So, good evening and welcome everyone. We are VTOL Dynamics, an aerial inspection and mapping entity. How did we evolve? Basically, what we did is the idea came up in about 2019, and myself and Azmat, who's the CTO, got together and put this idea in the oven to bake. And we came up with VTOL Dynamics. We had it registered late last year. What happened after that is, like every other idea needs some capital. So we needed money. So then we approached two professionals here in the UAE. One is Maliha Tanveer and the other one was Miriam Howard, both teachers. They believed in our idea and gave us the money to start what we wanted to. A lot of companies, a lot of people who start companies, go through this phase and, all those people who say, yeah, I'll give you money when you start. But when you get to the actual door, there's nothing left. So, we are true believers in those who believe in you, you always keep them with you. So these two really did help us and we are really grateful to them. The next question is why Pakistan and why not Spain? Why not China? Why not somewhere else? Well, obviously, it's because we have roots back in Pakistan. And the second thing is that, there was a huge gap where there were so many qualified people in the country, but Pakistan was lacking the equipment. And say, for example, Vopak and Engro, there are external contractors coming in and charging huge amounts of dollars for their services. So, we thought, why not, we provide the technology that is on a global scale and give it to Pakistan. So then, it is available to everybody, not just, the military or some special companies, but for anyone who wants it, who needs it. So what we did is we purchased an M300, which is a DJI product. It's the most latest drone on the market. And we brought it to Pakistan. It was the first commercially M300 in the country. The only second M300 that was in the country of Pakistan that belonged to the army. So commercially, we were the first. By doing that, we shifted the benchmark for drone services to ensure that customers were able to access the service, like I said before, at a reasonable price. By doing such things, you can create lots of friends and you can create lots of enemies. So we started a chain reaction where the current providers that were using small drones to, do mapping, to provide aerial shots, they went into a panic mode where they couldn't understand how to deal with such a drone that's just come up on board. So now, like I said, now there is a new and improved way on how to map. So what we did is we kind of moved the benchmark on how things should be done in Pakistan. And that was the aim. We want Pakistan to be on the map. We want them to be able to, access things that everyone has access to. So, when you go on such high levels and you go in so heavy, your competitors try to steal your SOPs, they try to sabotage you, they try to understand your pricing, your services, they give you dummy projects to understand your methodology. However, what we give everyone, you can google.com yourself. So what we say is you cannot find or buy it on the net because this is knowledge and experience. So we've had competitors that have tried to steal our knowledge, but obviously they have just failed. And myself being so experienced in the drone industry, and Azmat, who is a very good pilot and a very good technical, he's our CTO. Together we know that that kind of recipe is very hard to find in Pakistan. So that's why we did Pakistan, because we wanted to fill the gap and to give everybody the opportunity.
Okay, so now to start off with our first part of the webinar, UAVs revolutionizing work in the skies. Okay, for those in the audience who may not know what aerial geospatial solutions is, we would like you to break it down and how drones are helping in this field.
Sure. So, okay, so what we'll do is the question that you said, aerial drones are in oil and gas, they're in engineering, they're in mapping, they're everywhere. A drone is basically a tool. It's not a solution. It's just a tool to do things much better and much easier and much more cheaper. I'd like to quickly talk about our drones that we have, which at some stage were not available in Pakistan, but now they're on their way in. So obviously everybody knows the drone on the top right is the Inspire 2. So the Inspire 2 is used by lots of TV producers, a lot of news companies, etc. So our M300 is on the left, and underneath are the two fixed wings that we've also purchased. One is a Wingtra, which is a global drone. Everybody knows the Wingtra. And now the SatLab SLA2. So we're trying to bring these guys back into Pakistan to show Pakistan that, you can do aerial mapping, you can do inspection. So quick example, like the ship-to-shore cranes in PICT, port in Karachi, they needed inspection. So an inspection for one crane takes 5 days. So we brought a drone in, it took 1 day. So, we saved four days of shutdown. So, we're trying to implement what global standards are into Pakistan. So does that answer the question, or shall I keep going?
Okay, so we have another question for according to this explanation, that can you tell us a little about how and where these technologies are being implemented globally?
Sure. Look, I have a slide for that. I'll quickly just jump to that so we don't have to go through all the other boring details. All right. So application and deliverables is the heading that I would call it. Okay, so where in the world and what is going on? So we are doing globally overhead OHTL, power line inspection, security and surveillance. So all these things are happening globally with drones at the moment. So Islamabad police has adopted and asked us to come in and do surveillance, night patrolling, which we do. Solar panel inspection, people in Europe, people in America, people in Australia, they are understanding the need for solar power. Okay, but how do you inspect a solar panel? And using a temperature gun, is it really that useful? So they have adopted drone technology. So what we're doing is bringing exactly what they're doing in. So we're just, but sorry, I'm just sidetracking a bit, but where drones are being used at the moment and how we're bringing into Pakistan. We're doing agriculture, so asset management, where at one stage you could spray 1 to 2 acres a day manually. You can do 100 to 500 acres with a drone. So this is a global thing that is coming into Pakistan. So I've listed a few here, which I hope answers the question.
Yes. Okay, so the other question which comes up is that what sets these apart from the technologies we are already using, and what economic and operational benefit does it offer?
Okay, good question. And what I will do is I'll go straight to the slide that answers the question. Okay, so the question is traditional. Why aerial over traditional? So it's a good question, and a lot of people get intimidated when they see a drone or they see technology. But once you educate them, the benefits are there. So we'll give you a quick example. So land survey, topographic survey, as we call it. If we did it manually of a 10 square kilometer area, manually it would take 9 days, it would take 20 people, and it would cost 9 lakh. But if you did it by drone, it will take 2 days, 1 drone, and 2 lakh. So, companies are very happy to see the reduction in manpower, see the reduction in pricing, and the speed of time in delivery. Going forward, you can see if you do a wind farm inspection, if you do agricultural spray. So look, the savings are there, less employees, which obviously means higher unemployment, but it doesn't mean high unemployment. What it actually means is you can utilize and put your staff somewhere else. So instead of, everyone doing an inspection, half of your team could be doing another job. They could be more productive. So traditional is there, but the drone definitely outweighs the traditional methods now.
Okay.
Okay,
So
can we
you tell
see
us
a visualization of how this works?
Sorry, what was that?
Can we see in a sort of visualization that how it works?
Sure. So I will quickly skip back to it. We'll skip back to this slide. So to give you an example, we would look at Gardaz and Mazar. So a few days ago, we had the pleasure of mapping it externally and internally. And I'm sure you guys know it's virtually impossible to fly inside of the Mazar. So, we were flying it. We were asked to do a topographical survey. So it's just like for land development and future planning. So when everybody knows when a drone takes a picture, it's called an aerial image. And when you stitch all the images together, it's called an orthophoto. So here are 2 examples of the orthophoto. One is an intersection and one is obviously the Mazar. So then what we do is we extract information through a process and we generate the CAD files. So these are 3D CAD files that you can open up in CivilCAD 3D, AutoCAD, anything, any CAD package. You can open up these files and engineers can use these for design purposes, for cut and film, anything, for whatever purpose there is. And then what they can do is they can overlay the data on the image to understand what is actually going on, because sometimes you just can't look at a plan and visualize what is on site. So you can actually put the ortho and the CAD image one on top of the other, and you can impose them. So that's an example of what we can do with drone data.
Okay. So can you tell us where does Pakistan stand with regards to this? Is there a potential market here?
Okay. Where does Pakistan stand pre-2021? Okay. So Pakistan at the moment does not really make a dent on the UAS market, okay, both as a producer nor as a user. Nobody knows what Pakistan was. And only recently, in the past 2 years, agriculture has adopted the drone technology for its efficiency as a tool. It's still very hard. It has been very difficult, when you go out to these farms and everybody sees a drone and they don't want to know what it is. It looks dangerous, it looks scary. Is it the Secret Service trying to take pictures? Are they trying to understand what is going on? So, people get intimidated. And, the last line that I've written is something it actually relates to the first question, that why Pakistan? So, when we did the study of the top 20 countries of drone service providers, two of them were from India, and the other majority were from Europe and America. So, we wanted to put Pakistan on the map. We wanted them to know that Pakistan is as good as everybody else. Moving forward, where does Pakistan stand from today and moving onwards? As you can see that this year, the Prime Minister introduced drone regulations, and for your information, two of the top 5 service providers of the world want to partner with local businesses now. So they have actually contacted us and said, we want to become a partner. So the world is now seeing that Pakistan is that next big thing. So, Pakistan has an opportunity to, really expand itself globally, not just within its boundaries, but, the next phone call that you will receive will be from some guy in Europe asking for a drone, where he could have purchased one from China, but he's like, no, there's something in Pakistan that's much better. I want that one. So, Pakistan has now that opportunity. And obviously NUST Airworks is doing such a great job where they're, developing their own drones and, trying to get the word out. So, it's entirely up to you guys, but I'm telling you, Pakistan is on its way up. So keep moving forward.
So yeah, we hope what you told about the post 21, about Pakistan, the post 21, it happens. It really happens. We hope that. Okay, so, but the question which arises is, what do you think would be the global trend in the upcoming 5 years?
Okay, well, the global trend, it's not going to be human mobility. People are not going to sit on drones in Pakistan, definitely not. I can see that there will be parcel delivery. It will be in the more, the areas where infrastructure is more settled. But there will definitely be drone-related activities for a lot. Like there will be drone patrolling at night. So I can imagine DHA will have a drone patrolling the complete area. Bahadiotan will have a drone patrolling. So we are actually bidding for these jobs, where there are some places that don't even have these opportunities, but we are introducing them to them and saying this is not something that it's a threat, but it's actually a tool. Rather than sending out 5 patrolling cars, you're going to send one drone, and a drone can stay up for 4 hours and cover the whole area. If there's a problem, you'll notify a car, and the car will be there straight away. So, Pakistan is going to take the drone bull by the horns and move fast, because, Pakistanis in general, they're very eager people, and they like to grab onto new technology, and they break it and they make it. And when they make it much better. So sky is the limit, but I'm sure it's going to go pretty high.
Yeah, inshallah. And could you tell us that what has VTOL Dynamics currently been working on? Could you briefly tell us about that?
Yeah, I can. What I will do is I'll just skip to a page very quickly. So at the moment, which is obviously a potential market, VTOL Dynamics did Qaeda Azam Mazar. We're doing a few projects in Haleji. We're going to be mapping Karachi, the urban part of Karachi. We're doing projects in Islamabad. But for short, these are the people we have worked with. So we've worked with the Army, we've worked with Subarco. We did 150 square kilometers with Subarco. Rion Energy. We're just moving and moving and moving. People are just now calling us and saying, hey, I have a job. Can you do it with a drone? Of course we can. Here in the UAE, people are asking us as well. So it's not just Pakistan anymore. Now, a lot of other people from countries are asking us, can you come and do the job? There are people in Afghanistan asking us if we can fly for them. Kazakhstan. So like I said, we are trying to get that Pakistan on the map where, everybody wants a piece of us now. So there's some of the people we've worked with.
Okay, so keeping in mind what you told us about the global trend in upcoming 5 years and what the current projects VTOL Dynamics is having, so what is the vision of VTOL Dynamics for the next 5 years?
Okay, so keep it short. I mean, VTOL Dynamics is a company that just wants to provide technical services to Pakistan, so then Pakistan can be just like any other normal country. We want to establish ourselves to the point where we're known as one of the leaders in service providers at the moment. We just want to be known as a good service provider. We're not worried about growing into 300 employees. If we're going to have 100 or we're going to have 50 employees, we're happy with that because we're more about delivering customer satisfaction. And, like us, there's going to be a lot of competitors that are going to come and they're probably going to become as good as us. So our vision for the next 5 years is to just correct the market so everybody gets a good product. That's basically it.
Okay. So now moving on to the second part of the webinar, technology-driven startups. Okay, so after listening to that, all we are curious, what was the reason behind establishing VTOL Dynamics operational hub in Karachi? We would like you to tell us about that.
Okay, so I'll just keep this page on, but the reason why we did Karachi is because Karachi is the life of Pakistan. It's a city that never sleeps, and it's got a lot of offices there. A lot of business dealings happen in Karachi. There are definitely what can I say? There are head offices in Islamabad or Lahore, but if you want to know something, if you want to do something, it's all in Karachi. So we decided that let's keep it at a place where it is accessible to everybody. And if we have to move, we'll just move. Because, I think 60% of Pakistan's activity is Karachi. And Islamabad and all the other places are, they shut down after a certain time at night. So if we need to travel, we travel. If not, Karachi is definitely the place to be.
Well, indeed it is.
So can you share what were the major challenges in getting VTOL Dynamics off the ground?
Okay, so capital, huge challenge. You have to, everybody has an idea and a plan to open up a business, but you need capital. So, and you can't just start up a business with X amount. It has to cover everything. So capital was definitely a huge challenge, and finding people that believe in you and making sure that you can back up what you're about to provide. So if you're telling somebody I can fly a drone and I can do 10 square kilometers in a day, you better be ready to provide 10 square kilometers with the processing, with the deliverable. So it's like a complete chain. Are you ready for the chain? So alhamdulillah, because we're fairly technical people, we had that covered. It was more about the commercial part. Pakistan, like I said, is a country that is eager. So there wasn't much of a hurdle because once the brand was established, everybody was calling us because, Pakistan is like that, whatever's new, they need to know what's going on. So alhamdulillah, we didn't have that issue. But like I said, the only issue I had was the commercial part. And after that, alhamdulillah, everything was fine.
Yeah, we understand that it is very difficult to convince someone to, give us the capital for our own idea or something.
Exactly.
Yes. So what do you think, what resources are available for tech startups in Pakistan?
Okay, so at the moment, in terms of resources, there is not much available. You have to be very proactive in what you can do and create. Everything that we're trying to do, we're bringing it from outside. internally, what Pakistan has is that it has great talent. It has exceptional brain power. You just got to channel it through the correct doors, and everything will be history after that, I guess. So yeah, I mean, because in terms of technology, drones are you have to purchase the drones from outside, unless I would be more than in favor of a company in Pakistan. Or if somebody said to me, "Listen, I'm building a drone. Would you like to be a part of it?" I'd say yes, because you know what, having something from Pakistan, made in Pakistan, putting it in the air it would be a very proud moment to show that listen, this is what Chinese can do, but guess what? This is what Pakistan can do. So we're definitely looking forward to companies and people trying to do something internally.
And
Oh,
what is your opinion over the incubation centers here in Pakistan?
Okay,
okay.
well,
I'm really sorry to stop you, but can you just try to stop screen sharing, because we need to see your video, so you can just advise the students properly, and with your videos and camera on.
okay. So what would you like? What would you like to see? Sorry, in terms of videos.
No,
Actually,
I
he's
want to
trying to
see the
say
video
that
of you.
everyone is curious to know how you look.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
yes.
Is my camera not on?
It was
No,
off.
actually, it was off actually.
All right. So I think my camera is on. Is it on?
Yes, now we can see you.
All right. So I mean, look, my obviously my accent is not from Pakistan, but Alhamdulillah, the roots are from there, and I can speak Urdu, so there is no issue. But yeah, look, I'd like to talk about something which I'm sure a lot of people would want to know, um, the recipe on how to start a business. So when would you like to talk about that? Or is there any other questions we'd like to
Yeah,
discuss?
I just wanted to ask you about your opinion over the incubation centers in Pakistan.
Okay, well, look, the incubation center in Pakistan, like NIC. So NIC approached us and said, would you like to be a part of our 2021 cohort? And I said, yeah, of course. NIC has been really good to us. They gave us office space. They provided us the contacts. They got us into channels. They're really proactive in helping you, and you also have to show them that you are interested. They have exceptional connections. They have good mentors. They're all for helping you getting somewhere. You just have to put in a lot of effort as well, because nobody is going to hand feed you. You have to do it yourself. But NIC is very good at directing you and channeling you to ensure you get to where you need to go. So yeah, I would recommend everybody put in an application and a proposal to NIC, and yeah, look, if you get in, all the best, and I'm sure you'll do well.
Okay,
Oh,
so
so I was actually getting curious to know how is data attained using aerial drone mapping different from satellite data using Google Maps? Like uh, how is the data attained using aerial drones mapping? This is the main question I want to ask.
Okay, well, Google is done by satellite, so satellite accuracy can be the actual resolution could be 1 meter. That means when you zoom into a pixel, it will be 1 meter wide, and its positional accuracy could be 10 meters or 5 meters in the wrong spot. So drone accuracy, if you apply the correction when flying, if you use a PPK or an RTK method, you could be within 2-3 centimeters in both X, Y, and Z positioning. And obviously the resolution will be a centimeter perfect. So, if you could measure a car, that's 4.5 meters. And, if you measured it after collecting data, it will probably say 4.49. It will be within 1 centimeter of it. So a huge difference, absolutely huge difference.
yeah, we could say that these are the perks of post-modernity. So, So the next question which we have is, what advice would you like to give to the students or to the graduates who are aiming to be the part of this field, or for those who want to start a tech-driven company?
All right, so I'll just go back to sharing my screen because I have
Yes.
the slide ready for that. And just give me a second, okay? So I'm going to share. Okay, so could you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so the question is advice for new startups and recipe for success. So, the answer to that question is there is no recipe for success. Okay, if there was, I would Google it and I would use it, and everybody else will be Googling it right now. However, what we feel on our journey that is the recipe for success is, I would tell everybody is find the gap. If you were to meet me anywhere and you would want to talk about business, I would say, listen, does it fill the gap? So just find where there's a need or where you can make things better and more effective, or if you can invent something that can create a paradigm shift, go for it. So it's all about finding the gap. And then the second one, which I put a lot of emphasis on, is capital. Ensure you have enough money to cover the gap. And whatever you do, don't sell all your shares, because if you give up all your shares in the start, you'll just become an employee at the end. So yes, you had a great idea, but you're just an employee, and the guy with the money is the man. The third thing is technical support. Like I said, the backup house needs to be ready for anything. And clients in today's society, they will ask you for a task, and then they will get you to sign the purchase order. And then when you go on site, they say, can you please do this? And can you please do that? Or can I have this? So, you need to be ready for all kinds of deliverables and all kinds of situations. And, the sales team will go out and do the sale and get the business. And then the technical team gets stuck. So you need to make sure that the technical team is ready. And then the last one is the commitment. You'll have sleepless nights, you'll have non-productive hours of technical document writing, internal arguments where you don't agree with your partner's decision and you don't see the sense in it. There's so many sleepless nights, and if you're ready for that, all is well. And lastly, and if you feel like you want to do all those, or there's something else you want to do, then number five is definitely come join us, or sell us your idea, and we'll see how we can help you succeed. So yeah, there's my recipe for success.
Yes,
Indeed, it is.
and I think in Pakistan there are a lot of people who could, complete all those 4 points to, reach to success. But the one thing which they are not with is the right direction, and due to which we will be moving towards our third session, which is the Q&A session, a direct Q&A session between you and the audience. So all those who have questions, please raise your hand so that you could be connected to your questions would be addressed to the guest.
Yes, like raise your hand and like unmute your mic, like after raising the hand, and you can just ask the question.
I think Hamad, Hamad Gori.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam, how are you?
I'm great, sir. I'm great, mashallah. Sir, I just wanted to ask one small question. So you said that you had a great challenge in terms of capital, right?
Yeah.
So how were you able to overcome that challenge?
Look, like I said, you've got to find people who believe in you, and at the same time, you have to be true to yourself. Where, look, I sold my car. I loved my car. I sold it. I said I need to do a business. I put all my savings into one basket. I try to meet as many people as I could who are like-minded. I try to give them the idea. I try to sell them the idea. You meet people who have confidence in you. You meet people who don't have confidence in you. You meet people who believe in chance. But look, it takes a lot of hard work in convincing anybody to give you anything. Just giving you their time, good luck. So they were the challenges. We're just trying to meet people who were convinced with what we had to say. So they were the challenges.
Well, sir, you see, that is the question that I'm trying to ask. Because in your case, essentially, you are trying to fish, you are trying to do fishing in a pond which essentially had no fishes, right? Because Pakistan is something which the entire world consider as a third world country, right? As a, or if not a one third world country, then one which is developing it in the very least. And what I understand out of it is that it has a really low inclination towards the idea, towards the prospect of planes or drones, let alone VTOL. All right. So that's the question, because even if you have a great idea, this entire idea of convincing one particular person towards towards your prospect is something which is considered out of a salesperson. So how can you acquire the same skill set that when you are actually getting the skill set of an engineer, because that's something which, and quite unfortunately, is not being taught in our universities right now.
Look, like I said, you have to believe in the idea, and you have to find like-minded people who are willing to bank on you. You know, if somebody is willing to stand by you and give you 1,000 rupees because they believe in you, then there you go. There's your first investor. Or look, Pakistan, yes, it is it was regarded as a third world, and it's developing. But like I said, you have to find the gap. You have to present the gap so it looks attractive. You go into a car dealership, the salesman will sell you a car, or he could, how he has these techniques, but obviously he's doing it for commission and another reason, but you have different motives and they're more personal. So you have to put all that together and present it correctly. And I believe if you can do that, there will be people who are willing to listen to you and bank on you. And that's what I did. We put it in. We did a case study. We did all our calculations. We ran a lot of simulations, and we told people that if you can give me this much money, we believe by 6 months, by 12 months, this will be the return. So that comes after a lot of research, but just be ready that if you cannot make that money, you better have a backup plan to pay them back, or you have to show them some kind of results. So like I said, you have to put the plan together and make it attractive for people to believe you. And I'm sure it's
All right,
possible.
so
You just got to find the way to do it.
well, sure, it is possible, but then again, it is essentially in this very fact that lies the problem. At one point, we are coming up and asking them for the money that, hey, you should invest this in this idea of ours, and simultaneously we are also saying, okay, we should have a certain backup in order to pay them back. If we do have a certain backup, then why will we in the very first place ask them for the money?
Okay, well, there's lots of answers to that, but a smart businessman never uses his money. He uses other people's money, but they're on entrepreneurs and all kinds. Look, it's not about backup. It's more about, okay, you borrow 10 lakh of somebody, and you know that you're going to make 2.5 lakh a month. So what you do is from that profit, you probably put 50,000 away, and you keep that as money for a rainy day, because at the end of the term, when you have promised your investors to give them a certain amount of money, if you fall short, you will tap into that bank account and give it back to them. You have to provide what you've stated. So you just got to, we call it playing a game, where you got to understand how much money you need, how much money you don't need, how much money you can save. And then, because at the end of the day, an investor after 2 years, if you're not going to give him anything back, it's going to be a very sad moment where he trusted you and you couldn't do anything about it. So always keep money aside for that rainy day and make sure it's ready to be handed back over to them.
So, okay, now let's hear the questions from someone else. So, please raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yes.
Bilal. Bilal?
Okay.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam. I'm well. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, ठीक, sir. Sir, my question was, what what are the propulsion system in your drones based on? Are they engine driven or are they electric?
All our drones are electric at the moment.
Okay, and one more question. Are there any drones that you're working on that have an innovative aspect, something that makes your company stand out from other drone companies?
Okay, so what we've done is we've purchased DJI products and a few other brands. So we haven't developed anything internally at the moment. We're hoping to come across a team in Pakistan that can give us that opportunity. But what we have done is we've got access to a P1 sensor, which nobody has. We can map between 10 and 40 square kilometers a day. Nobody in Pakistan can do that. And, we're very proud of that. So there you go.
Okay, if someone wants to ask again, please raise your hand and unmute your mic and you can ask the question. Someone in the audience.
Everybody is well rehearsed. Did Bilal want to say anything extra?
No, sir. That was it.
Okay, Gopalpur Prakash wants to ask a question. You can unmute your mic.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum
I have a
salam.
question regarding Ghana drone service. Can you tell us from your experience within Pakistan that is it possible to implement such a massive scale project such as Ghana drone service in Pakistan? And if is it possible, then how long is it going to take us to actually implement it?
Ghana drone service. Sorry, I don't understand. Like, is that you're talking about the country Ghana? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a medical.
Oh yeah. So
you can
they
call
have
it
the
an emergency drone service.
yeah. So they have the fixed wing and they're delivering packages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are delivering medical packages around the country, and like they have a operating radius of around 80 kilometers for each drone, and they have different stations situated in different parts of country, and they deliver like blood samples and any other medical related stuff.
Exactly. So look,
in case of emergency.
The thing is, look.
So I was asking if is it possible in Pakistan.
Look, it is possible in Pakistan. Of course it is. It's just that, somebody showed the initiative and it went forward. So, if you want to show the initiative and put together a proposal, I'm sure somebody will look at it. I mean, there are places in Pakistan that are very remote. Not easy. Look, okay, accessibility just takes time. But, if you can come up with a solution where there are hospitals that require specific medications for certain patients all the time. You can come up with a system where instead of it taking, 8 hours, it will take 45 minutes. So, it's all about initiative and how you want to make the system better. Look, because somebody in Ghana did it, a team of individuals, and it worked. So, I would suggest you come up with an idea and watch it grow.
The thing is, the airspace is Ghana in Ghana is not as busy as the airspace in Pakistan. So, is it possible to really implement it considering the airspace because the flights and all, because of the flights and all?
Yeah. So what you have to do is you first have to speak to the CAA and understand their flight plans, and then what you do is you come up with a flight corridor, and then you explain to them that we would like to fly at 800 meters within this kilometer corridor, and you map out a corridor to them that is not going to interfere with anyone. You stay away from airports, you stay away from helipads, you stay away from political and royal families, etc. And if you can create a path, you will create highways in the air. It's just that you have to take the initiative to find out those flight paths yourself. So like I created a flight path between Abu Dhabi Airport and Al Badin Airport, which is a corporate airport, and they wanted to do deliveries deliveries of packages. So we gave them two corridors. One was parallel to a highway, and one was going through a transmission line corridor. So it's up to you. You have to give them the corridor and get it accepted.
Okay.
Okay,
So
thank
I
you, sir.
think, yeah, Gopal is done with this question. So is there anyone else with the question? Please raise your hand and unmute yourself.
Okay, Yasir Kasmi, you can ask the question and mute your
Uh,
mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam. I hope you're well too.
I'm fine. Sir, you said that you haven't developed any drones internally yet, but if you did, what will be your preferences regarding that drone?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
You said that you haven't developed drones internally yet, but if you did, what will be your preferences regarding the UAV?
Okay, so if we were to develop anything or develop with somebody, we would want to, like I said, be on a level that is not being seen in Pakistan. So we would want a vertical takeoff drone. That's why we have VTOL. And I'd want something, we'd put something like a very, very high spec sensor in it. We would put LiDAR in it. We would put infrared. We would put all these sensors, or we would try to make sure that the bay has enough capacity to interchange all these sensors. So, I mean, that's what we would definitely do, because you can go to China and buy a drone for 10 lakh, and then you buy the cameras and you buy this and you buy that. But if I could develop it in Pakistan, at least the servicing, the maintenance, the support is here. So we would love to do that, and maybe one day we will do that. But that's what we would do.
Uh, Thank you.
okay, so is there anyone
Okay.
else with the question?
So
Please unmute
Rayaz,
your mic and raise your hand.
Rayaz Zahid.
Yes, hello, sir.
Hi
It's
there.
lovely to have you with us today.
Thank
So my question is that now that VTOL Dynamics has a stable standing in the industry overall, especially in Pakistan, so what is the company's effort overall in promoting the US applications in Pakistan? And furthermore, I would like to ask, how involved is the Pakistani workforce in this company? Thank you.
Okay, so the second point is, sorry, can you repeat the second point? I couldn't hear it.
My second point is, how involved is the Pakistani workforce in the company currently?
Okay, so the answer to that, we're heavily involved in Pakistan. I'm just trying to understand, say that, we're just trying to make sure that Pakistan becomes, if not a leader, it becomes known to be a country where you can use as a resource. You can call anybody in Pakistan and say, hey, I need a drone survey. Can you come and do it? Or I need a drone. Can you sell it to me? So we're just trying to shift that benchmark up by bringing in external experience and pushing it up, so then everybody has that opportunity. Yeah. So I think the screen is frozen. Is everybody there?
Yes.
Yeah, we can listen to you.
Okay, wonderful. Sorry. And sorry, what was the first point? I forgot that one.
Yes. My first question was that now that VTOL Dynamics has a stable standing in Pakistan and also abroad, as you mentioned, what efforts is the company doing to promote UAS applications in the country, as in Pakistan? How are you promoting UAVs and their applications in all the industries?
Okay, so we're approaching a lot. We call companies. We call we approached Angro. We got to meet the CEO of Angro. We got to meet people in PICT. We got to meet people in the police, in the army. We're trying to be more proactive and trying to educate the system and trying to educate people to the point that we're letting them know that there's a technology available. You should take a look at it. Pakistan is a country that it will just keep moving. It will never stop. but and there are certain technologies that nobody knows of. So we're just trying to be really proactive in marketing these technologies, these processes to people who don't know that they're there but could benefit from it. So it's just like we're contacting a lot of engineering firms, a lot of mining companies, and we're saying, hey, listen, you should take a look at our drone. And then there's a lot of free work you have to do. We've done lots and lots and lots of demonstrations, lots of data processing. But you know what? That's if that's what it takes to move the benchmark, we're going to do it, because we will be known for giving Pakistan that opportunity, and that's a very proud moment in life.
Okay, so actually, Huzaifa, yes, Huzaifa, you can ask your question. Unmute your mic, please.
Hello, sir. Sir, my question was about the autopilot of the drone you are using, and is there any way you have any plan of innovation in the autopilot, or making your own autopilot?
Okay, well, look, at the moment, we have a commercial autopilot. And let me tell you one thing, never ever trust autopilot. I have come across so many times where the RTH button has been turned on and the drone is on its way back, and halfway through the flight, it stops. And then you have to fly it back manually, but you don't have enough time or battery left. So look, China has been really good at providing such systems at a really cheap price. But, I am really looking for somebody in Pakistan to say, guess what? I have a system. Please test it. Please look at it. And, we want that, because we're going to, that's our aim is. Our aim is to have everything internally in-house, not, if we keep buying things from overseas and bringing them in, it's beyond the point. We're meant to be making Pakistan grow, not Pakistan become another country where contractors are just coming in doing the job, because that's what it looks like. You're getting foreign equipment in to do the job. So yeah, with autopilot, if Pakistan has it, bring it. We will look at it.
Okay, so anyone else has a question? Okay, so hey Boomer, you can unmute your mic and ask the question.
Sorry.
Mohammed Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I think his mic is muted.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. How are you?
Okay, sir. Sir, I had a question. I was recently visiting your website, and I had seen a model named SLA2. It's a fixed-wing aircraft. So, can you tell us about its specifications?
Yeah, look, the SLA2 is a VTOL fixed wing. It's by a company called SatLab. SatLab is a Swiss company. I know the owners. I know everybody. What they did is they came up with a solution with a 42 megapixel Sony camera. So this was to compete with the Wingtra and Sensefly's EB, because Wingtra was a very expensive drone, and they thought that because initially SatLab was a software developer, so they invented the software and then just put it in the casing of the drone. So technically it's a beautiful drone. It captures areas. It could do you could do 12 square kilometers per day. Yeah, it's a battery operated drone. It's great. You can have radio link of about 15 kilometers, and I have no problems with it. What do you want to know about it?
Sir, actually, I wanted to know about its structure.
You mean like the material it's actually made out of?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm not well rehearsed with the material at the moment, but what we can do is we can send you the specification of the actual material it's made out of, the composite material. There are some carbon fiber components to it, but it's a very lightweight plastic. But we could definitely send you an email.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful.
Okay, sir.
Okay, is there anyone else who wants to ask a question? Okay,
Yeah, it's Raz. Yes, you can unmute your mic and ask the question.
Hello, sir, once again. I had one more question, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Sir, I was wondering, how far is, and if there is any, student involvement with VTOL Dynamics? Because if we look currently at Pakistani student teams, we have students from NAD, Institute of Space Technology, GIK, and many other institutes taking part in drone competitions and other such settings. So, is there any way that VTOL Dynamics can promote them or involve them in the company, which is what I'm wondering.
Well, on LinkedIn, 8 weeks ago, we put in a position, and NED University gave us a list of final year students. I contacted like 20 of them. Nobody responded. You know, the thing is, I believe that in Pakistan, that if they can't be bothered, they don't care. You know, I've seen that attitude. You know, people applied for. We were looking for people to join us as graduates, as trainees. You know, I interview people, and then they say, "Oh, do I need to come to the office?" I said, "Yeah. Well, if you don't come to the office, how are you going to learn? Why do we pay you?" And then they say, "Oh, can I do it remotely?" And then, you know, it makes me sad that, you know, people are using this COVID situation and making it their long-term decision of how they should work from now on. You know, we should keep in mind that, you know, we're still the same people with the same background. So, look, if students want to be a part of our team, send us an email. You know, I mean, we really want to, you know, spread the word, spread the education and the learning process, because the more people you have that are like-minded, you're all going to be, you know, a very smart community of drone people. You know, so then, you know, we'll come up with more ideas. But if not, we're just going to be the isolated specialist company, and everybody else is just going to be, I don't know, lost. So yeah, look, if anybody wants, please let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you.
Okay, so is there anyone else with the question?
please raise your hand.
Yeah,
Okay, Hamad Gauri.
Ahmad Gauri.
Once again, sir, I'm taking, I guess, a bit more time than I should.
Sure.
But sir, it's just that it's kind of personal. In terms ke, sir, is it okay if I speak in Urdu?
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
Thank you so much, sir. सर मैं आई एम स्टूडेंट फ्रॉम एनईडी और एंड आई एम इन फर्स्ट ईयर. तो हमारे यहाँ प्रोपेलर इवेंट होता है जिसमें हम लोग की सारी जहाज़ बनाते हैं एंड ऑल यू नो. सो वी आर एमिंग फॉर अ फिक्स्ड विंग वीटोल यूएवी. सो कंसिडरिंग द फैक्ट कि आप एक का एक प्रोफेशनल एक अप्रोच रहा है इस पर्टिकुलर इस एस्पेक्ट में, सर व्हाट टिप्स शुड यू गिव टू फर्स्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट्स कि यार आप ये अप्रोच लेके चलोगे सो इट विल बी गुड इनफ.
Okay, नहीं तो हम ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं कि, you know, our CTO, Syed Azmat, he graduated maybe 5 years ago from Sir Syed University, और वो वहाँ पर बैठते हैं NAD University में, NIC की building है. So he sits there, and you know, we're more than happy to give advice. You know, Azmat invented his own heavy lift 50-kilogram drone for his final year assessment.
वैसे ये वॉइस इज ग्लिचिंग.
Can you hear me? Yeah, so Azmat invented his own drone.
Your
So
voice is glitching, sir. I'm sorry, I was not able to get the last one.
can you hear me now? So
Yes.
okay, so, you know, for first year students, you know, if they want to find the time and approach us, we were more than willing to just, you know, maybe hold a seminar or a group session where we can help you. We can advise you on what to do, what not to do. you know, how to be more efficient in how you want to go. Because look, we're very technical people. We're not just commercial people who have put money together and built an idea and trying to make money off it. It's our passion. Drones are our passion. So, you know, and when anybody starts talking about a drone, you know, we can just talk for hours. So, if you're on NED, please come and see us, and we'd love to talk to you.
That's great. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody else with some questions, please again raise up your hand and unmute your mic.
I think they're all questioned now.
By the way, we would want you to be, part of NUST as well, if you
Yes.
could.
Yeah,
Because
look,
here people are
part in NED.
people over here are like much more interested in drones and stuff, so it will be a great opportunity for us, and also I believe for you to like come in NUST and give an advice to us and give opportunities to people of NUST.
well, look, you know,
Although this webinar is giving us a lot from you.
Well, look, you know, from our end, you know, we're trying really hard to be part of. Actually, we'll actually talk to Hafiz first, and then I'll give you that paragraph.
Okay. Okay.
Assalamu
Huzaifa?
सर उर्दू में सवाल ये है था सर कि आप हम स्टूडेंट्स में क्या देखना चाहते हैं कि नेक्स्ट जनरेशन स्टूडेंट्स किन चीज़ों के अंदर आए
क्या मतलब उनका एटीट्यूड या उनकी एजुकेशन, क्या मतलब?
एजुकेशन के वाइसेस के दे शुड मतलब ई कॉमर्स की तरफ आना चाहिए, क्योंकि आपका जो ये है स्टेम फील्ड्स जो होती हैं इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं होती इसके अंदर।
नहीं, देखें, the thing is के it all depends के what wakes you up, what gets you out of bed. You know, लेकिन you know, in today's world, जब भी आप कोई engineering कर रहे हो, then there's always a business subject or there's a law subject. So I would tell everyone to not box yourself in, keep yourself open, because you know, you do engineering, but when you're in the field, you do nothing what you have learned. You do something totally different. वो आपसे बोलेंगे कि administration करो. And then out of administration, you'll start making Excel sheets, and then you'll start doing proposals, and you'll do, you know, you will do all these technical document writing. So you went from an engineering degree to a business proposal, how to win proposals, how to talk to clients. So, you know, मैं ये कहता हूँ कि don't box yourself in, but keep your options open. Look in the drone industry. The drone industry is taking off. It's going at such a rapid curve. Nobody can assess it and tell you what's happening tomorrow. It's like the mobile phone came out. It had a very slow curve, but you know, you buy an S10 today, and everybody knows that this is now old, and you can buy the new iPhone, and guess what? These technologies are just getting older day by day. So the drone industry is going to hit that curve where it's all up to your imagination now. कि आप क्या कर सकते हो? So don't box yourself. Keep your options open.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, Natasha. Natasha, you can ask your question on which you might please.
Assalamualaikum, sir. I'm from the software department in Airworks, and I wanted to ask, basically, जो हमारा काम होता है, it mostly involves deep learning, and you know, we spend a lot of time on object detection models and classification and stuff. So I wanted to ask you, how much do you guys use that, and like how much does the industry use it, and like what level?
Okay, well, you know what? I'm glad you asked that question, because I'll give you a very quick example. You know, I work with DP World. DP World is in Karachi as well. So DP World in UAE, they were doing crane inspections, and I said to them, I said, listen, you need to come up with a quicker way on how to do the inspection for rust and cracks. So उन्होंने कहा कि how do we do that? I said, you just bring in AI, and what the algorithm will do is it will detect rust, it will detect a crack. it will work on the pixels. Obviously, you have to go through the filters and the frequencies, but you know, like I said, it's limited to your imagination. We sold the idea to them, and they accepted it, and they said, okay, start flying a drone, and let us know where our cracks and rusts are, where there are oil leaks. So what we do is on a frequent basis, we fly drones and we do all the inspections for them and give them the information through AI. So I mean, AI possibilities are unlimited now. It just, where do you want to implement it? So, well done to you for choosing that, and good luck in moving forward.
Right. Thank you.
So, anyone else in the audience wants to ask a question? Please raise your hand.
I think there are no questions left.
Yes,
I have a
I think that's
question.
Okay.
How
okay.
do we
You
get
can
in
ask.
touch with you if in the future?
Well, you can obviously go through the guys that have organized the event, or you can go to our website, which is VTOL Dynamics, and just send us an email or give us a phone call. Like I said, I mean, we're not a company that is hiding from people. We're very open, and we want to help anyone and everyone who needs it. So you go to
I'm
the
sorry,
website.
I missed the first part of your presentation. You're based not out of Pakistan, though.
No, no, we're based in Karachi.
Oh, you are based in Karachi. Okay.
Yeah. So we're in Karachi, and we're living the life of every normal person. We're just, like I said, trying to fill in the gap and make the drone industry in Pakistan a bit better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're just like approaching to the end of the session, because like it has been a lot of time. So I guess we should like end it right over here, like with the question answers. And to be honest, sir, like I think like every question has been asked up till now. So let's skip. Let's go on the ending part. So thank you, Naveed sir. It was pleasure to meet you actually, and thank you for your like for sharing incredible insights with us. And we hope that everyone in the audience found this webinar interesting. And stay tuned for our next webinar coming this Saturday on 29th May. We will be announcing our guest speaker very soon. Until then, stay safe and have a good weekend. And it's an Allah Hafiz from us, from the team NUST Works. And I hope you all enjoyed this webinar.
And sir, we
So
do
thank you,
hope
sir.
a few coming in NUST as well and providing your views over the questions or,
Yes, and giving
their.
us opportunities also.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you guys have any further questions, give us a buzz, send us an email. And look, I wish you all the best, and thank you for tuning in, and for the office.
Allah
Okay,
Hafiz.
sir. Allah Hafiz, sir. Allah Hafiz, audience, everyone.